Hello everyone, Spectre here back in with our Marvel China Champion video. Today we're going over a Green Goblin buff concept that I made, and yeah, this is a really bad quality image, but that's okay because we're done with it. And as always, these are purely fan-made or not official, leaked, real, etc. This was just fun. And so yeah, starting with Green Goblin, before I really get into my buff concept, one problem with Green Goblin is that he's not consistent. He has a lot going for him. Like, he has really nice regeneration. He has the potential to have really nice power control, but it's all random stuff like that. And same thing with pumpkin bombs and his debuffs and all that kind of stuff. And just all around, he's just very unreliable. So what I did here is I took his kit and I tried to make it, reliable. And I wanted to make sure he's still a really good defender. Like, he's very annoying on defense. I wanted to keep that, but I also wanted him to have a use on offense. So getting into it, always active. Green Goblin is a man of madness and cunning. Goblin rotates between being in madness and cunning every 10 seconds. So I kind of just want to simplify the madness and cunning charges because it always seemed a little confusing and kind of hard to, get a handle of. So I just think, keeping it to you're in 10 seconds of madness and then you'll be in 10 seconds of cunning, and it kind of just rotates every 10 seconds. I think that was, it's easier to get into a nice flow that way. And if the opponent is a Spider-Verse hero, they are inflicted with a permanent poison passive every time they evade or activate a special attack, and Goblin gains a permanent passive fury, increasing attack rating by plus X. So he's going to be really good for those Spider-Man champions. And so anyway, when you're in Madness, Green Goblin passively regenerates X% of all damage received while in Madness. Also, the opponent's combat power rate is reduced by X%, and if the opponent is a hashtag Spider-Verse, their combat power rate is reduced by an additional plus X%. So you really do not want to bring Spider-Verse heroes into this, and it only gets worse for those champions as we get on. But yeah, so with Madness, we're keeping his regeneration here. It's going to be a little bit more manageable, and he's still going to have the counter of, like, yeah, you kind of want him to have you want either heal block or versus healing. Also, it's just going to be a little bit more annoying because you're going to have reduced combat power rate. And then in Cunning. So while in Cunning, the opponent suffers from a passive weakness, reducing attack by X%. This weakness, I spelled weakness. This weakness is plus X% more potent against Spider-Verse heroes. Also increase your combat power rate by plus X%. The heavy attack. So the heavy attack is pretty much the same. You use it to put on the Incinerate, but what I did here is, when inflicting another Incinerate, refresh the current Incinerate, and it gains plus X% potency with a maximum of plus X%. So what you can really do here is, like, if you keep refreshing your Incinerate, it's just going to keep getting more and more potent up to a maximum of whatever this number is. But yeah, let's say, it's you increase the potency of like 5% each time up to a maximum of like plus 100 or 200%. Like, couple heavy attacks and that Incinerate is going to be like double the damage. It's going to be crazy. And oh yeah, so for the persistent charges, I decided to also take his bag of trinkets and his like pumpkin bomb debuffs, and I wanted to make them a little more consistent. So I decided that you should be able to pick and choose what pumpkin bomb debuffs you want. And Green Goblin starts each quest with 3% charges, maxing out at 3. Additionally, when entering a fight, gain 3, unless Green Goblin would have 0 charges, if so, only gain 2. If the opponent is a Spider-Verse hero, Goblin always gains 3 charges. So, essentially why I did this is just so because there's one here for like 3 charges where you get all the debuffs, and I didn't want it to just be like, oh yeah, just cash out 3 every single time, because then it's like you wouldn't really need these debuffs. So, yeah, you could always start with 3, but then if you use all 3 the first time, you only get 2. I think that's fair. Green Goblin can spend his persistent charges in the pre-fight menu screen, granting him special abilities for the next fight. So the cost of 1 charge, pumpkin bomb attacks inflict the opponent with a poison debuff for X seconds, and similarly to how the Incinerates work, inflicting additional poison this way refreshes the current poison and gains plus X% potency with the maximum of plus X%. And this is just the same for the next 2, where instead of poison, it's a shock debuff, and same thing, inflicting it an additional shock, refreshes the current shock, and it gains plus X potency at a maximum of plus X%. And same thing with the last one here, except it is a disintegration. But if you want to cash out all 3 of your charges, Pumpkin Bomb attacks become Super Bomb attacks and inflict the opponent with all the prior debuffs with a flat plus X% potency and duration flat. So they're going to be off rip, they're going to be even stronger, and the duration is going to be longer as well. And inflicting additional poison shock and disintegration this way versus the current poison shock and disintegration, and gains plus X potency. Basically the same thing. It's just like it's at a flat increase, so its maximum is going to be probably 50% more than the maximum of just them by themselves. And also, special attack hits deal an extra burst of energy damage, increasing with per damaging debuff on the opponent. So aside from all the debuff stuff, if you do use all 3, you do get a slight damage increase that increases with the damaging debuffs. God, that was a lot. But anyway, the special attacks. So special 1, lasers. So for Green Goblin's laser attacks in a game right now, it's like they reduce or they drain 8% of a bar of power from the opponent. And it's only a certain amount of chance, or it's like RNG. It's not always guaranteed or whatever. But here I decided to make it 100%, but it only drains half of the power it drains now. But it also does not generate power in the opponent, so it's kind of it's kind of the same, but it's more consistent, because the one in game, it does not, the laser attacks do generate power in the opponent, so it's you're kind of really only draining 2% of the opponent's bar of power, so it feels like nothing, but it's nice, especially if they're at special 3, get real big Hail Mary, but here it's much more consistent. And then for the Pumpkin Bomb attack, inflict the pre-fight debuffs, whatever ones you selected. The special 2, the opponent's blocker efficiency is reduced to 0 for the duration of the attack. So this is really going to be annoying. It's not unblockable, but you're still going to be taking the damage like if it wasn't blockable, which is better than having to sit through the second Pumpkin Bomb attack. But for the Afterburner hit, inflict the opponent with Incinerate debuff for X seconds. This is basically just the same thing as the heavy attack Incinerate, and the Incinerate is shared between the special 2 and the heavy attack. So you can increase the Incinerate with the special 2 and the heavy attack. It's not like you get 2 Incinerates that you can keep ramping up with the special 2 and the heavy attack separately. It's kind of just one shared thing. And then the Pumpkin Bomb inflicts the pre-fight debuffs that you selected. The special 3. This attack triggers a Super Bomb regardless of the pre-fights, and what the Super Bomb is, it's all the debuffs, and power drains 1% of a bar of power, and Green Goblin gains 100% of the power drained. And for the Awakened ability, Oscorp Weaponry. When triggering a Poison, Shock, or Disintegration debuff from a Pumpkin Bomb for the first time each fight, there's an X to 100% chance to inflict an additional Poison, Shock, or Disintegration debuff, respectively. So you could, if you have a max sig, you get that guaranteed. You're basically doubling all of your damaging debuffs damage. And if we go back here to this little spot right here with the Super Bomb, you're doubling this extra burst of energy damage you deal. So all in all, it's a really good it'd be a really nice investment, especially if you really enjoy Green Goblin and you want him to be even better with those his overall damage. But yeah, that's Green Goblin. I really think he would be a much better champion if he was just a lot more consistent. Because again, his kit is nice. There's a lot there. He does a lot. It's just he's not reliable. So yeah, that was the goal of this, and I still want to keep his identity of an annoying defender. But yeah, hopefully you like this, and thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what champion you want me to create a concept for or a buff next, and goodbye.